Today, we'll dive into the nuanced differences between values, ethics, and laws, and explore why each is critical in the counseling profession. Why is this important? Core beliefs, ethical guidelines, and legal rules influence our actions and decisions uniquely. They are pivotal in grasping human connections and societal foundations. Values are profound convictions that steer our individual decisions and actions. They're innate, frequently molded by cultural influences, our background, and personal encounters. A personal example of this could be hardship growing up for me, how this has really focused intentionally on building relationships and focusing on trust and interaction, which ironically also led me to this profession and counseling in general. Ethics encompass the corrective values and rules that influence behavior within a group or entity. They advocate for fairness, dignity, and trustworthiness in communal actions. Ethics in the professional setting of counseling is of paramount importance. The nature of the counseling relationship, which is built on trust, vulnerability, and the well being of clients, underscores the need for a strong ethical foundation. Laws are official regulations set by authoritative entities. They offer a structure for maintaining social harmony and come with enforceable consequences or punishment. For counseling, licensed professional counselors are regulated by the state typically, and school counselors by the Department of Education for that state. Values, ethics, and laws each have distinct roles in influencing behavior and decision making. Let's illustrate these differences with some examples. First example, for values. These are individual convictions deeply rooted in personal beliefs or experiences. For example, a counselor, John, let's call him, might personally value open communication in his own relationship, believing that it's the cornerstone of understanding and being intimate with others. His personal value can influence his approach, but he must be careful not to impose his belief on clients who might have a different cultural or personal perspective on communication. Let's now have the same example, but with ethics. So, ethics are communal guidelines or standards that a group or profession agrees upon. For this example, the American Counseling Association, or ACA, has an ethical guideline that counselors should avoid entering dual relationships with clients. These are relationships where they might be both a client and, for instance, maybe a business partner or a friend. So even if John feels he can maintain objectivity, ethically he should avoid entering such relationships to ensure that the client's best interests are always prioritized. Applying laws with the third example, laws are rules set by governing bodies and are enforceable with penalties. For example, in many jurisdictions, there are laws mandating that counselors report if a client is at immediate risk of harming themselves or others. So if John's client expresses a clear intent to harm someone, John is legally obligated to report this, regardless of his personal values or professional ethics. Counselors adhere to ethical guidelines and prioritize their clients' safety and well-being, uphold professional excellence, and preserve the credibility of the counseling field. Trust is at the bedrock of the counselor-client relationship. Its significance cannot be overstated. The success of therapeutic inventions often hinge on this relationship, or in other words, the trust established between yourself and the client or clients. Based on one's chosen study path, various ethical guidelines might be relevant. Grasping and following these guidelines is essential to uphold professional credibility. For professional counselors, the American Counseling Association's Code of Ethics will apply. For school counselors, the American School Counselors Association ethical standards for school counselors will apply. Start familiarizing yourself with your ethical standards and how they may apply to the profession. Thank you for listening.